Hey, brothers and sisters. I just wanted to take a couple minutes here and say hi and share something with you that came upon my spirit to share with everybody that's out here, and that's amazing enough to take the time to actually watch these videos and share with me. And so I'll get right down to it. We've got the new crazy flu going around right now, and everybody's got their opinions of what it is. And I'm a firm believer that it's strictly they're just jamming fear down our throat and keeping us in line for the slaughter. And it was put on my spirit to. And I'll actually give credit where credit's due. I know some of my favorite YouTubers are Many Fish, the Big Sib. If you guys haven't had an opportunity to check out their channels, phenomenal content. Great spirits in them both, and that's what I love about some of these channels we watch. You can just tell right away. You listen to them and you know right away they're good people, and you discern the message real quick. But Many Fish is great. He's got the talent of the numbers, and it's phenomenal to kind of watch him work and see how the numbers just jump out at him, and they definitely speak a message. And then you got the Big Sib's channel, and he's his talent is definitely with language, and he understands that the English language is a weapon that's being used against us, not only in the court systems, but in our everyday lives, and how it was specifically designed that way. So I just wanted to give a shout out to those two guys, because they help feed my spirit as well too. And I guess a part of this whole lesson is that's the point of it. We feed off of each other, and we are the body of Christ, right? We've got Yeshua as the head of it. And here we are, all pieces of the body. And so as we all have, different specific talents that we are supposed to use to contribute, to help each other and to share with one another, so that we can find the truth. Because that's the end goal, is to understand what the truth really is, and to keep searching for it. So I was actually, watching a Many Fish video, and he was talking about COVID-19 or the coronavirus or whatever you want to call it. And it kind of hit me in my spirit, because I remember being taught a Bible study of looking up Curious Filii Dei, that the message that's on the Pope's mitre hat. And one of the first studies I ever did, it was a breakdown of, if you actually take those letters, which are Latin, and you transcribe them to Roman numerals, and you take the ones that actually have a value to them, and then get rid of the ones that don't, and add them together. Yeah, you've probably guessed it. It adds to 666. So that kind of helped start my journey, and really captured me to understand that, this matrix that we do live in is, we've got this veil over our eyes. And then finally, when it starts, getting removed, it's the greatest feeling in the world, because you're not alone, and you felt it your whole entire life, and then finally it's starting to be revealed. So I took it upon myself to take COVID-19, and if you Google it, it'll show itself up in the same way. So it's capital C, capital O, V, I, D, and then you've got that dash, and then you've got 19. So as I was taught to break down the Pope's mitre hat with the Roman numerals, I decided to start there. So every single one of those letters in COVID, except for the O, has a Roman numeral value to it. And so if you take the C, it's 100. And again, the O does not have a Roman numeral number associated with it. Then you've got V is 5, you got I is 1, and then you got D is 500. So I decided to do some further digging on the letter O, And I thought, what not better than to find out the history of it, and this is where the big sib came in, because it's in our language, right? So not only does the Father speak through numbers, he speaks through everything, right? So that's the point of all of these, like I spoke in the last video, why we have all these senses, right? It's so we can discern messages being given to us from all different areas. But it's that love of that one area, astronomy, if you're really focusing on the stars or the numbers, numerology, that's where you start replacing the one true God with that teaching. And that's where you fall into the occult, and it starts to get dangerous. So I took all those letters and associated them with the numerical Roman values. And then I decided to start doing my research on the letter O. And I found out its origins are Latin, which I found quite interesting. And then further down on, and again, I'll say it, everybody can go check out the history of the letter O on Wikipedia. And I know Wikipedia is not, the greatest of sources to get information, but it's a lot of, added information where people have given their input. So, you can trust it or not trust it. It's for you to discern, but it explained the capital letter O and then the small letter O, but with the capital letter O, it had a computer coding value of 79 to it. And that was the first number that I saw when I was doing this research. And I'm a firm believer that if you want to dig, you can find out Obama's 666, you got Trump 666. Anybody can, equate to 666 if you really want to try to make it happen. But that's not the point of it. If you're going to stretch it for it to work, then that's not the answer. It's all got to come to you the way that it comes to you, and that's through the Spirit. And it's got to be something that's obvious and is right in your face. And again, that's why I have a whole lot of respect for those other two YouTubers, because they really truly have an ability by looking at what the information that's in front of them. So if you look at the O, it's got a computing coding value of 79. So if you take the C, which is 100, you take the O, which is 79, you take the V, which is a 5, you take the I, which is a 1, and you take the D, which is a 500, you have 685. Then you take that little dash 19, okay? So if you write that down, and if you're following me, write it down on a piece of paper. So 685 dash 19, it looks like 685 minus 19. You guessed it. A total 666. Now, I'm not on here saying that this is the mark of the beast, because it's not. Sunday worship is the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast will be about worship, plain and simple. And the mark will be the alternate Sabbath or the Lord's Day, as they call it. And I know in my spirit that that's what it's going to be about. But these people can't help themselves. They put their 33s and everything, that famous Masonic number, and they've got their numerology and everything's always got to add up and line up in that way, because that's their way of paying homage to their God, little g, God. And so the same I felt would be with this virus if it were, the starting of something or the beginning of one of their plans. And it all kind of hit me. If you kind of follow the trail, and an easy way to do it is to take the end goal and then work backwards. And so if you take this virus, what is it going to lead to? It's going to lead to people not wanting to touch each other, not wanting to shake hands, not wanting to even talk to each other, not even want to have just a simple conversation with somebody because you got masks on and you're scared that you're going to get this virus that is no worse than the common cold. So you've got that. Then you've got, we've got it's a borderline cashless society, but we still deal with cash, but that's going to be a great way to rule that out so that we can, finally tip that scale and start going cashless. So you start putting all those pieces together and you start seeing a picture. And what that picture looks like is the beginning of them seeing how much control they actually have over us. And so if this works the way that they hope that it does, they're going to base the numbers off of, okay, so how many people are scared of this, and they can tell. They just have to look at all the stats of all the people rushing to Walmart, Costco. There's quarter-mile lineups, for Costco. They're completely cleaning out places, and that just shows you, it gives them a good, clear idea of how effective it's working. So then comes in the old vaccine that they've already made it. It's not like they're going to create this thing and release it on the world without having it already, because they wouldn't want their kids, or their loved ones getting it without some kind of solution. So we all know, if you use simple discernment, you definitely know that it's already out there. So now they're going to want to put this vaccine in your body. And I'm not saying the mark's the vaccine either, but it'll be a great way for them to be able to implement a system that if you don't have this vaccine, they don't want you in a building. You're not allowed to buy. You're not allowed to sell. You're not allowed to go into any kind of common building, like even a mall where there's lots of people. If you don't have your vaccine, your kids can't go to school. So this is a way for them to put you under, it's a tool of enslavement. So again, this message here today is for you to discern. I'd love to hear your input. Please put hit the like button, please. Make a comment. Share it if you feel it in your spirit. But I just felt that it was put on me today to put this out. And I just want everyone to keep searching for the truth. Stay safe. Stay in the Word. Love your neighbor. And we'll talk again. I love you very much. Take care.